Once again, we are back. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Great Convos, where we always say whether you agree or disagree, you can always find great convos. It's Monday. It's a little cool today here in Toronto. Tell us where you're coming from to all of our loyal listeners. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us. Thank you very much. Please put it in the chat. I'm Roger Caesar, and that gentleman over there, here, where?
Here.
Everywhere.
Where am I? I'm Alexandre Matt. Hello. I am the beauty guy today. Hello, pageant guy. We're going to talk to some queens today, right, Roger?
Yes, we are. I had the distinct pleasure of meeting these queens at back in September when they had their competition here in Toronto. I was a judge. I was honored to be a judge for that competition, but it was the stories, it was the beauty of how each person went on stage, shared their stories, and also graced us with their presence. And I absolutely loved it. And I said to myself that at some point, we need to have some of these ladies on the show. And we are lucky not just to have one, not just to have two, but to have three of them on the show today.
Well, let's bring them on. Who are they, Roger?
Of course, we've got Yulianna, and we have Nadiia, and we also have Anna joining us today. Hello, ladies. How are you? Hello, queens. How are you?
Hello, everybody.
And you joined us
How are you guys?
with your crowns and with your, what do you call these things?
Sash.
Sash.
Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Welcome. My pleasure to see all of you.
Can you start off by just explaining to us that particular event in September where Roger was a judge? Because you've got three different titles, you each won in your categories. Anna, I'm going to ask you to give us a brief understanding of what the event was, if you can explain the sort of pageant that you had.
So in Canada, it was a Canadian beauty pageant called TCP Canada. And three of us were participants of this event. And the queens were allowed to move to the next event, which happened in Atlanta in October. And queens from all over the world were invited.
Wow. Now, this is different from the Miss Universe pageant. And if maybe one of you can explain the difference between what the TCP pageant is versus the regular one that we see on TV called the Miss Universe. And I'll ask Nadiia to give us that.
Sure, my pleasure. So first of all, TCP Universe, this is the pageant for successful women who actually do make the change, do impact the society in a positive way. So they empower women who do businesses, who do volunteer work, who basically make the meaningful change, not just with their outside beauty, but the inside beauty. So that was my personal reason why I have, for example, decided to participate in this contest, because it has something more than just beauty. It has values, which I value the most.
Is there as much controversy in the TCP pageants than we saw in the world's Miss Universe recently?
No, not at all. Because this is the sisterhood. This is the sisterhood of women where you enter and you feel empowered and you want to create more. And you know that even when you fall, you will actually be risen up with the help of those women.
Yeah, I saw that firsthand with how closely knit these women were to each other, and it was beautiful to see. Yulianna, tell us your experience. How did you feel when you, well, first of all, why don't you just tell us how you felt about entering this competition?
I actually debated on entering the competition for 2 weeks, to be honest, because for me that meant that I had to overcome a lot of inner, resentments that I went through the last 6 years. And by me going to the competition, that meant that I had to become stronger. I had to be be confident. I had to accept who I was and who I am at this moment, right? So this is like some sort of a growing of your inner self being there. And be proud of yourself that you achieved a lot of things in the life, that you don't have to be ashamed. A lot of women who were there, they had some difficulties in the life. And that's what you had to be standing on that stage and basically say it in front of the judge, in front of all the contestants, and accept who you are and be proud of completely yourself. So that was my step forward and moving into this competition, that I wanted to be that voice and just say it for myself that yes, I did it. Yes, I achieved it. Yes, I'm here. Roger, you probably know my very quick story that I had a stroke before, right? So my life changed completely. I had stroke, I was paralyzed, I had to learn everything from the beginning, how to talk, how to move, how to build yourself from bad condition, I would say, to the point that you are standing on that stage. So I'm proud of every single contestant that were there. Absolutely 100%.
Yeah, Alex, this was incredible. The stories that were told from these women. Now, I want to get into that, but maybe just for our listeners, we did say that this is a completely different event all on its own. Can you explain the categories? And I'll ask Anna to just go over the categories and how this is. We have three queens here, so people are probably wondering, well, what kind of competition would have three different queens? Can you explain it, please?
Sure, definitely, with my pleasure. And I would start with explaining my title. I'm Miss Platinum Universe. This means that I won at the competition at Atlanta called TCP Universe Pageant in the category, in the platinum category, which is 55 plus. But we have different categories. So women of all ages are very welcome to shine. So we have the youngest category, 18 to 27, which is Miss. And then we have from 27 to 45, which is Miss and Mrs., means married and single ladies. And from 45 to 55, Miss Elite and Mrs. Elite. And we also have Mrs. and Miss Platinum.
And so platinum for 55 plus. Now,
55 plus, exactly.
Now I know that this was your first time competing, right? So you're in the platinum category for 55 years old and older, and you won the very first time that you tried. What made you want to get into this in the first place?
Well, such a good question. Thank you so much. So being a scientist, being a biochemist by my education, having master's degree in science, and started my career as a researcher. And then when I moved to Canada, transitioned my career to the corporate world, I would never expect me to be here at all. However, my career was always like go, 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 establish myself, finding myself in a better place, invent myself in a new country. And then when the things start slowing down a bit, and I thought, so maybe I should get some fun in life. And and try something totally different. And I took the challenge. And I would say this experience was like an amazing boot camp for redevelopment of yourself. So I couldn't recommend it highly enough for any ladies who want to learn a lot about themselves to try it. So this was such an amazing decision, and I have no regrets, and my life has changed dramatically in a good way, in a perfect way.
Yes. Now you said that your life has changed, and I'm sure that it has changed for the three of you. Yulianna, you had just briefly explained your story before coming here, and obviously having a stroke and having to build yourself back up from being paralyzed and alone. That alone is crazy. But I'm going to ask Nadiia, what was your story before you came into this competition? How did you get here?
Yeah, thank you for the question, Roger. I think first of all, I entered the competition because I wanted to be that example for my daughter. She's 9 years old, and I wanted her to see me on the stage and see that that's totally okay to shine and to show your true spark that you have inside and to inspire the other people. So that was my main goal. And when I won the Canadian pageant, when I get this crown, this one, that's for Canadian one. Then I realized my responsibility to actually go now to the universe stage and to show one more, but not to that girl, not to my daughter, but universe. I think it was more for myself to show, to prove to myself that despite all the circumstances that could be around, despite arriving sick to the pageant, despite injuring my back seriously before the pageant, before the universe pageant, despite losing my voice and doing the conference talk with literally no voice at all, you still could win. So I did. I won. And again, I think this victory is even more just for this inner girl that sometimes was shy, insecure, always thought she's not enough, always thought she should be the fit to the standards, too skinny, too small, too fat, too tall, etc. We all live by so many stereotypes that actually the society imposes on us. But the true value that I've encountered for myself, just be yourself and you will get your crown.
Wow.
Yeah, and congratulations again, Nadiia and Anna, for winning these titles on your first try. Now, Yulianna, this was not your first try. You've done this a few times. And you have a good track record, correct?
Yes, that's correct. This is my 8th time. This is
8 times and 8 titles.
Yes, and but this title meant a lot for me because the previous ones, they still meant a lot, but they were in a young age, which is more appropriate for the girls to participate and to win the crown and be pretty, be beautiful. But this one, because this is not, like Nadiia said, this is not just measuring your beauty. This is measures how successful you are, what kind of person you are. It doesn't measure the beauty. We are all beautiful here. Different ages, different sizes, different heights. Everything is counts. But you measure what you have in your heart. What did you achieve? What did you accomplish? Can you do some things, change the world with your voice? So that's what measures. What can you bring to the world? Like how good positivity and changes that you can bring. So that's what it measures. And I think that's the most important thing, which is for competitions these days. This is the most valuable. I would suggest all the women to try and participate because it changes the life. It changes the view, how you perceive yourself after this experience. It changes all the world for yourself, right? For the families, for the friends. You are different. Absolutely different.
Wow. I have a question.
Yes.
and I don't know if we can get everyone to answer, but let's just try. Now that you are the queens and you've gotten the titles, and I love the inspirational stories that have come from all of you here today as to why you're doing it. What's next? What are you doing with this crown? How are you inspiring others and using your voice to make a difference? I'll start with Anna.
Such a great question. So right now, being a Miss Platinum Universe 2026, I'm focusing on using this year to promote the good causes, the causes that I'm most passionate about. First of all, being a Miss Platinum Universe at TCP Pageant, I'm empowered to be a spokeswoman for the Pledge campaign, where we encourage all organizations to utilize our voice to enhance the message, to protect women and kids who were abused. So my goal to speak for those who are voiceless. And use my title to be a spokeswoman for any good cause. So I'm I'm already speaking for the good causes, and I'm looking for the opportunities in the different communities in Toronto and in Canada to speak as a title holder, to educate women, to raise their awareness, and to encourage them to raise the bar for themselves. This is my...
Perfect. And what about you, Nadiia?
So right now I'm I'd say all around the place, if that's allowed to say. So I'm taking part in different events. Like 2 days ago, I was a speaker at the event Show Up Like a Queen, that actually promotes women and celebrates women's beauty and at the same time confidence. I also conducted a couple of my events with the women, like meetings where I try to empower them and to make sure that they also find this inner strength and beauty within, not just, again, the outside beauty, but the inside. And I'm a teacher. So I go to schools, and all of my students, when I just won the pageant, so they start asking me, like, could you please bring me the crown? Could you please show me the crown? Can we touch the crown? So I brought the crown to the schools, and I also, as a spokeswoman of the Pledge campaign, the campaign that helps women, men, and animals and kids to protect them from the domestic violence, I do the kids pledge. So I ask my kids to repeat the words, like say good words, so that good words will echo back to you. And they all are in love with that. So I find it like a global mission, so that also to empower and to influence with a good cause. And lots of events I also planned for January. I think it's going to be a very busy year, and I'm trying to also to utilize my crown and my voice as much as possible, because I do believe I can make this change to the society until, let's say, I'm the serving queen.
All right. And finally, you, Yulianna.
Very much. So for me, it's very important right now to support a lot of women. Like, I know that I went through difficult period, and a lot of women are going through the same period of life. A lot of going through the abuse. So my first invitation was to speak on a public event that was for the organization for the travel company. However, there were a lot of women that were seeking the help and advice on how to move on in life. So that was one of the main events. Then I'm invited to do the speaking in the churches, and Anna is actually will be doing the speaking with me. We're going to be talking against the abuse for female children and as well torturing animals. That's important. Another event that Anna and I already were participating, we were invited to the Ecuadorian embassy. So they are preparing the trip for rescuing the animals. That's another way of helping the world, right? So, and we do speak a lot with women, with children, what to do, how to prevent things, how not to give up as well. That's very important. We do a lot of speaking and supporting female children. And as I said, for me, it's very important, animals, pets. It's something that is going on a lot right now currently in the world, which is very sensitive topics. So that's
right.
Thanks. Now, if you want people listening to us, if they want to know more, I think we can go to this website, correct? tcpageantscanada.com. If anybody's hesitating, even just to find out more, what could you tell them to click on the link or to find more information on the website, Nadiia?
Yeah, I'd rather recommend going to the website and leave the fill out the form and leave the application, because next year is starting very soon. So I do believe that we are listened by lots of empowered women who would like to try the way we did. And you see us now, we have the crowns. So maybe if you're interested in participating, we would gladly invite you to take part in, and maybe, who knows, maybe one of us will be crowning you next year in Canada on the pageant. So just give it a try, because you'll never know where your crown is actually waiting for you.
Is it possible to participate after you won the title?
I mean, for us?
Yes.
Or no, we have 1 year contract, so we have to wait until our contract expires, and then we would be able to participate in the other pageants if we are willing to, of course.
Okay, so for the next year, so for 2026, you will not be on the stage, so we don't have, we will. People who are interested don't need to worry about
We will just we will come with these crowns and we will crown the new ones. Yeah, that would be our direct responsibility to pass the crown to the new crown queen.
Yes. This has been amazing. I love it. Now, again, I just want everyone to know that this competition happens worldwide, right? I remember we were just talking about this, a worldwide competition. I think it was Anna, was it you that was explaining, or can you explain maybe all the countries that have participated in this competition?
Yeah, so the highlight of the year is the event in Atlanta, which is already engaged for October next year, 2026. And in the meantime, there will be pageants, local pageants, and I think it's already open in Europe. So all delegates from Europe, from Africa, from United States, from all over the world are welcomed, but they need to be qualified. And to learn about the process, you have to contact to find the information on the website. Also, if you have any questions, you can contact myself and probably my fellow queens as well. And I would like to let you know that our personal pages will be arranged, and they're already arranged. It's just a start for them. My personal page on Facebook called Miss Platinum Universe. Nadiia also has this page, I'm assuming. So you can contact us through Facebook and we will be very happy to answer any questions.
And as well, okay, while Alex is putting that information up, Yulianna, how can anybody reach out to you as well? Oh, we got to unmute her.
My fault.
There we go.
I do have the page on Instagram, which was recently created for me as a queen. So it is my name, and it says, so it's Yulianna Marusina, and it says my title there. I also have another page, which is just a regular page for my business mainly right now, but there is a lot of information regarding the competition. That one is Yulianna Luxury Brand CEO.
All right.
So people can connect there. And I am giving my phone number and my email address if somebody is interested to talk to me, and especially when I'm present on some events and conferences and lectures. Yes.
All right. Alex?
Well, Nadiia, how we contact you? How do we find you?
I think it's better to reach out to me through my main page on Instagram. That's Nadiia Slova, NADIIA.SOLOVA. And I do have an official page, which is Mrs. Universe 2026, which is on Facebook. Actually, our national director, Sabrina, is also the main editor on the page. So that could be either that way, but still on Instagram, I'm most of the time, more often, that's my job as well. So I would be happy to answer all the questions related to the pageant and help assist in mentoring if someone is interested to participate.
All right.
Thank you. Roger, I've got a question for you. What exactly was your role as a judge at this pageant?
It's as simple as it says. I was judging the contestants, and there was in different categories. We had their speech, which they taught. They had 5 minutes to deliver a speech about where they came from and how they got here. And then, of course, it was the swimsuit, the evening gown, and one of the most wonderful was they had their outfits that they came out with. And I remember even Anna had the Canada outfit that she had on. That was just amazing to see some of the outfits that they had that they came out with. So we judged them based on all of these criterias.
Quite a job, Roger. Should I congratulate you as well?
I take it with pride. I take it with pride.
Whatever.
I guess now.
The last words of Roger.
Sorry, Anna, you were saying something real fast? before we go?
Sorry, I was just eager to jump in for your. Thank you for your comment mentioning my Canadian costume, which actually I used for my international pageant in Atlanta. And actually, I'm so proud. I won the costume of the universe, and it was Canadian costume created by myself. I'm so happy about this. So proud
Very nice.
to walk on the stage with Canadian flag in
Very
white
nice.
and red colors.
Awesome. Thank you very much, ladies, for being on the show. We are up against the time right now. We appreciate you for sharing your stories and for sharing your journey. We congratulate you, and we know that you are going to use your voice to inspire and motivate other young women, older women, women of all different races and shapes and sizes all around. Thank you for being who you are, the queens that you are. Well, Alex, we've come to the end of another episode. Please reach out to these ladies, continue the conversation wherever you may be. And as we always say here on Great Convos, whether you agree or disagree, you can always find Great Convos. We will put all the information for you. Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful week. Woo!
And we'll see you next week for the last show of the season.
Last show. Yes.